I do have headphones. Hello, Hobbit. I'm also here. I'm still unpacking my bag, so as we speak, I'm getting my headphones out with them right now. I'm not muted. Oh, okay. So they're just hearing me at the moment. Well, bear with us, chap. He's got technological issues, and he said that he recently reinstalled Windows.
Yeah. Ah, that's it. Got it. Good evening. Welcome to another Fortean Words. So there we go. We are working now.
Spooky intro. Woo.
Slight boo boo, but we're up and running. This tonight we're filming in a softie, aren't we? Of it. Hobbit, can you?
There is another thing I wanted to talk about besides spooky stuff. Like, I've been reminded I pitched this show to Paramount in the 90s, and they didn't get back to me. But hey, you never know; they might do it now. You know, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Basically that, but set in ancient Greek times, and I called it Sea Trek. And every week, the crew go to a different island. And I think, because you know how it is in Star Trek, with like every week they're in a different planet, but they only ever interact with like one like
Yeah, because
place.
Star Trek was, to all intents and purposes, a navy, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but also I mean, if you're doing like wagons or whatever, you know, like yeah, each week you're in a different settlement, and there's just a few people.
I did see Quest DSV, Hobbit. That's
no, that's terrible. Look. Basically, Hercules, Jason and the Argonauts, every week you're in a different Greek island, and the idea being it'll be filmed on location
I've
in
got something
various
to
Greek
pitch to you,
islands.
Hobbit. Why don't you do Quantum Leap, but it's a Chinese guy and his girlfriend is helping him instead of Sam.
I don't I don't get it.
No, that is That is the new Quantum Leap.
So you're a Chinaman and you've got a girlfriend helping you, and then what, does she quantum leap and help another Chinese man?
No, she's Sam. She's Sam.
So Sam is now a girlfriend.
A woman.
Well, there's a number of episodes where Sam becomes a woman.
No, but he actually has a woman helping him.
Well, all right, okay. Yeah, I guess.
So another property ruined. But then again, there's only ever been one series of. What's going to happen? Is there going to be the great ignoring? You know, where all the TV content from the 2010s just gets ignored.
Well, it's largely forgettable, isn't it? But I mean, the thing about my idea with this, let me see if hopefully I should be able to hear you. Say something.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, that's working. So I got the headphones in the right hole then. But the pitch was, hello, I basically want to be paid to go to Greek islands, and also this show would make a lot more sense if it was just, you know, set in ancient times, because then it would actually make sense that you go to a settlement.
But I don't even have a black man as the captain of the ship.
Yeah, because Greeks was black, you know.
Because modern day.
Yeah, modern day stuff is shit. So this would have been a good idea in the early '90s, where you could have actually had like someone like
Not
Kevin
Sam.
Sorbo.
I said Sam. I said his girlfriend was Sam. His girlfriend wasn't Sam. It was what was Dean Stockwell's character?
Al.
Al. Yes, his girlfriend is Al. Sorry, I've got it. Oh, no wonder you didn't understand what I was talking about.
I was really confused, mate. Because
Yeah,
it was
sorry,
just like,
I got Al and Sam mixed up. So it was. So imagine his girlfriend's Al, and Sam is a Chinese man.
okay. I don't really see the appeal in it.
No, you don't need that, do you? It's just a couple of bros traveling through time, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 Oh, okay. This is the wrong time to be looking at Twitter.
Ray says that's literally the Odyssey Hobbit. Talk about reinventing the wheel. Well, that's what you're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah, but then again, I mean that when Gene Roddenberry was saying Star Trek was basically wagon to the stars because there was this cowboy show about wagons, that is also reinventing Odyssey. Nothing new is under the sun. Look, mate, all I want is millions of dollars to go and produce this show, which is going to have like big-titted women in it and handsome Greek sailors. And I say handsome Greek sailors. Basically, they're going to be English, but they're going to be like, with names like whatever Greek names are. Yeah. And I have to be on set. I have to be.
Oh, sorry, Christopher Lee, but his face is blacked up. I love blacked up for Christopher Lee when he plays an Indian or something.
Yeah, that's just look. They're actors. They can act like.
Ray says the show you want is called Hercules and Xena, and it was made in the '90s. Hobbit.
Yeah, look. Basically,
they didn't do much seafaring because it was quite low budget, weren't it?
I just want a show where they're in rowboats occasionally. They're in Greek islands, and there's beautiful buxom women what are in distress.
How about Sequest DSV BC?
Look, it's not going to be a stupid underwater thing which is filmed in the studio. It's basically Dear Paramount.
No, it'd be Sequest DSV BC, but it would be before Christ. So obviously they'd be on top of the water, wouldn't they?
Look, I need to be filming stuff in the Mediterranean. Here's my pitch.
I'm not actually doing that. I'm bouncing around titles. I'm not messing with your formula.
Oh, that. Okay, yeah, right. Well, I think it should be called Sea Trek because it's a trek on the sea.
Yeah.
And you know how they do like the aliens are slightly different each day.
Quest DMV.
But basically, you just do like. Instead of the aliens where they got like bit of latex on their skin, you just do people slightly different
with a bit of boot polish on their skin. Can you not do anymore?
You could do a bit of boot. You can do a bit of boot polish, a bit of henna tattoos and different costumes, and it'd be a great show. And it's just there could be a war. They could be like the Persians. They're not Klingons, they're Persians, and that'd be good. So basically, look, Paramount, I'm still up for this idea. I understand you've got your diversity quotas. That's fine. We'll have an all-black cast, except the Persians. We can have them played by Germans and British.
Right, there you go. I'm asking the audience: Sequest BC or Sea Trek.
And it'll be good stuff. And that's basically what I want. And I have to be on set, and it has to be, Crete, Rhodes, all the other islands.
We're currently 50. Oh, Sea Trek's starting to edge. Sea Trek's starting to edge it out.
All right. Sea Trek.
Ray says, I'll accept the black guy if it's Moss from the IT. Does he mean that Richard Iowadi?
Oh, can you imagine him?
Stand Richard Iowadi. Oh, God.
Would you even have the strength to lift up a shield? Oh, that's the other point, right? When they're doing this thing and they're saying like shields up, they're literally lifting up wooden shields.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems I've lost my internet connection.
No, you're fine. I can hear you.
Yeah, but YouTube and everything's fucked up.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Uno says, "Can I be in it?" Featuring IC. Can we have IC3 as our token black in it?
Yes, actually, yes. Oh, have it the Oracle of Delphi. And when people say, well, the Oracle of Delphi was a woman, just saying, look, it's the 21st century. We're subverting your expectations by putting a black man as the role of a woman.
But fucking hell, Bar Razor, he's got it right in for you, I bet. He's slagging, he's slating your title. He's moaning about you chewing.
Look, if I can't enjoy some peanuts whilst talking about my pitch for my show, then what can I do?
So what does Alphabet K say? The abyss with that liquid alien thingy. I've only watched the abyss once, and I just remember Michael Bean goes nuts in it. I think Hobbit's gone. His internet's been nabbed.
I'm still here. I can hear you.
Oh, it's just you go deadly quiet. It's like you've dropped off the internet. I forget we're on Discord, not Telegram.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, you see. Discord likes to filter stuff out. But if I just have the microphone right here, then you'll be able to hear every single chew that I do.
So what have you been watching anything paranormal or science fiction-y to stay on?
Yes, I have, actually. On the Telegram channel, Fortean Words, there's some stuff on there. And by the way, it's really weird. It's like, for example, like Twitter, YouTube, none of that's loading videos.
I see Marco Coletti's put in the chat, he's put Hercules in New York in the
yeah.
What a
I never, because I saw there's like a gif of like Arnold Schwarzenegger topless wearing a beanie hat. And now I understand where it comes from.
It's not that. It's have you watched the film?
It seems very homoerotic.
He gets dubbed over because it's his first badly dubbed Arnie.
But it actually sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger talking.
No, it doesn't. He's got like a manga American accent, hasn't he?
Okay, well, the scene I saw is Ian A showed me a clip, and in this clip, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about throwing a discus. So that's what I wanted to talk about. There was a large-eyed figures carved into a stone block on a remote Pacific island.
Fucking hell! And what have you done to upset by a Ray Hobbit? Autism prevents you from understanding accents, Hemi.
Well, he's talking about you there, not me.
No, he was talking to me about you. That's your autism. You didn't get it, I bet.
Wait, look, Ian A, post the clip of the thing, and you can hear. I know what Arnold's
struck for it.
Oh, look, I don't mean play the clip. Anyway, in this clip, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger talking. I'm not such a dribbling retard.
Actually, I can put it through to now. I've got everything set back up. I can put it through to you, and I can play it to the listening public. So we'll just pick a clip at random, shall we? I bet he's not even talking. Oh, is he talking in this bit?
Who are these men over there?
Oh, they're just athletes.
Oh shit, have they undubbed it?
Athletes?
Hey, college guys, yeah. What do you mean? You think you could do better? What do you mean? These guys happen to be champions.
Ha!
Oh fuck, they've undubbed it. The bastards. They've destroyed it. Have you never heard the dubbed version?
So in the original one, it's dubbed.
Yeah. Hold on, let's see if I can find a bit. Hercules.
Hello?
I'm still here. Can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, okay.
Oh, can you hear me?
My internet's actually been pretty shit.
Hercules.
It's
in New York dubbed.
So
so they have undubbed it then.
Oh, so the original, he is dubbed.
Yeah, fucking 1969 that is.
I'm amazed that it's
Right, every dubbed line from Hercules.
Why can't I go? You let Mars travel. I only want to browse around. I've been here thousands of years. I'm bored. Let me be the judge of that. I'm tired. of the same old faces.
That's
The
Arnie
same old
talking.
things. Mind your own business, Venus. My mother may have
okay.
been immortal, but you, Zeus, my father, are.
So that's the dubbed version. That's why I've always laughed at that film, because it was dubbed, but for some reason they've undubbed it. I don't know why. Why Arnie's powerful. That's all I can say.
So let's go back and so 1970 Hercules in New York. 1973 he's uncredited as
actually,
a,
hold on. I've got to address it. It's literally there's a dubbed version and an undubbed version. I didn't know there was a dubbed version and an undubbed version. So that's
okay. So Arnie's in some bit parts in the 70s, like The Long Goodbye, Happy Anniversary and Goodbye, Stay Hungry, Streets of San Francisco as Joseph Schmidt, the San Pedro Beach Bums as Muscle Man.
What's this? Arnie's early roles. Oh, the villain. Have you ever seen The Villain Hobbit?
No.
Imagine like a western. A western. It's live action thing, but it's played like a cartoon. Like there's literally a bit where
Sounds wacky.
it really is. It's got Kirk Douglas. Kirk Douglas is the villain, and Arnie's a goody two shoes. And what happens is there's one bit where Kirk Douglas puts glue all over the railway tracks and then gets stuck in it, and then he gets hit by the train and he ges knocked out of his boots that are stuck to the train track.
Bear Ray is right about the recognising faces. I saw she is a cousin of mine. It was at my great aunt's birthday. I believe it's a second cousin or a first cousin once removed. Right, so she is the daughter? Yeah, she's the daughter.
Rid of weird news. I used to love the weird news section.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, no, it's there. No, it's me being blind.
Oh, okay, right. So, audience, tell me, this relation is the daughter of my great aunt. So is that a first cousin once removed or second cousin? I don't know. Anyway, my cousin, see her at my great aunt's birthday party, and I'm in close proximity because there's that thing where the Continentals do a kiss on each cheek.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting and it's like, I recognise the face. I like the face because she's not ugly. And then when I hear the voice, I'm like, I know you, but I've forgotten your name. And then she told me her name. I was like, of course, it's you. I'm sorry. First cousin once removed, the lizard says.
I don't know if that's necessarily autism. I mean, when's the last time you saw
her? Probably 2 years ago. No, it'd have been 6 years ago, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you'd be forgiven. People can change a lot in 6 years.
But I recognise the voice.
In the Daily Mirror weird news, health minister accidentally ate Queen's Corgis biscuits at state dinner.
Were they good?
Former Health Minister Alan Johnson said he particularly enjoyed the cheese and the unusual dark biscuits until his colleague informed him that the Queen had laid them out for her beloved dogs. Yeah, but on the table? What, and he rolled around on the floor for some biscuits?
ENA said my audio cut out. So just the story is, she is the daughter of my great aunt, and I met her at the birthday party for great aunt. Didn't recognise the face. Did recognise her voice. Couldn't remember her name. Okay.
This weird news isn't even weird.
Well, is it like woman forgets to eat a sandwich?
No, it's mum outraged as she's told driving is a man's job and people share her anger.
Well, not
there
wrong.
used to be like UFO reports and stuff like that, unless it's just like the first one's full of crap.
There's somebody's got a photograph comparing ancient drawings to modern printed circuit boards, and there's some similarities in the art style.
I wonder if 2-year-old farmer melts people's hearts as she helps family tend to cows. I wonder if is that a weird? Is she actually melting people?
Is a 2-year-old able to operate a tractor or
no, she's
lift
just
hay
going around
bales?
melting people's hearts. I think she's like Homelander from The Boys. I think Giant rats the size of rabbits could turn up in British gardens within weeks.
Yeah, okay. But isn't that like saying that, like Melting Hearts? Isn't that like Scanners? That's it. That's the film I was trying to remember.
No, that's Exploding Head.
She just stares at people until their hearts dissolve.
Did you know? Funny thing about Scanners. Did you know he blew the effects budget at the start? You know, at the start when that bloke's head blows up, he blew near enough the whole effects budget on that.
Oh, okay.
Scanners is a good film. Bit weird. That's one that could probably benefit from an update. Obviously not in current year, but it could benefit from an update, I think.
Well, maybe some future time where, like, you know, there's stuff happening.
Butcher starts selling King Charles III sausage fingers to celebrate new monarch.
I was just about to say, right, seeing as there's all this incest stuff being talked about on the thing, right?
Prince Charles's fingers.
Yes. Prince Philip and Queen Elizabeth were cousins.
Who were?
Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip were cousins.
Fun fact, there was a very good reason that none of Philip's sisters were at the wedding. It's because they were all engaged or married to high-ranking SS officers, weren't they?
He only was allowed 2 guests on his side because it's like, yeah, it turns out all of your family were in the Waffen SS, and you know there was a bit. It was a bit of a social faux pas, really. And then
Did you know the Queen had a 24-carat gold Nintendo and loved to play Wii bowling?
Is that in weird news?
This is in weird news. Oh, and this one, This is right up your street, Hobbit. Brits flummoxed as woman demands refund over pie she thought was too large.
Is that weird news?
Oh, it's fucking weird, isn't it?
No, I would say that's woman news. That's just like, woman is unreasonable, demands refund.
Do you want to read this one, Hobbit? Do you want to do the return of Laura Hesketh?
Oh yeah, okay. I'll give it a read.
I'll put it in general. Brits.
Yeah. Just before I read this thing, I want to say, Hemi posted a thing. Queen Elizabeth II tweeted, "I have information that will result in the arrest of Hillary Clinton."
Yeah. And,
right.
People still do that every single time someone dies, don't they? I love that tweet.
So, well, it's just purely coincidental. I don't know why people would do this thing anyway. Because
it's just, you know, you got a lot of friends. You got to expect a lot of them to die in two shots to the back of their head and
or light plane accidents,
yeah,
light aircraft accidents. Yeah,
it's just one of those things when you have a lot of friends of it.
So this article is written by Zanach Eklund.
Yeah,
no idea. But this is a modern day Laura Hesketh. So
Laura Hesketh, look back to JDLE sometime. She was the woman that moaned about the potatoes. The summary of it: she was at Toby Carvery and she's complaining about the potatoes that they're doing there, whilst putting mayonnaise and gravy on them. The fat bitch. A woman who demanded a refund on her restaurant's steak pie has left Brits baffled, as many struggle to understand her claim that the meal was too large. Right. I'm going to just stop right there, okay? If ever I've been in the rare situation in the restaurant where I've gone, I can't eat all of this, what I do is to say to the waiter, I can't eat all of this. Can I have it the rest in a takeaway? Yeah.
Please.
Can I have a doggy bag?
Yeah. And they'll do that. They will do that.
Or just leave it on the plate if you don't want to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you
just
do.
like,
you don't complain. Like, too much food is not something you should complain about.
It's like, oh God, I've paid like a certain amount for this and I've received far more than what I expected. I'm going to demand a refund. So anyway, let's carry on with this. The woman's refund request was reported online by another patron in the restaurant at the time, who overheard the woman tell her waiter that she wasn't warned the steak pie would come with so much mash and veg. But the woman's demand for her money back left people online in stitches. Because their intestines burst? Did they eat her? Oh, you know what? I always like a happy cannibalism story.
Yeah, I wonder where the splitting come from.
Yeah. So, with many of them stating that there's simply no such thing as a pie that's too large, and insisting that if she couldn't manage the whole thing, it would have been easy to box up and take. You see, exactly, doggy bag, you silly cunt.
Are people living up to the Karen thing? Is it like people dreamt up Slenderman, and the next minute Slenderman's telling little girls to kill their best mate, and that but now you've got like the Karen has appeared, and now people are becoming Karens to live up to the Karen thing.
Christopher Langham, who is the smartest man in the world, who I'll have you know is of Anglo stock. He's not a chinky. He's Anglo. He just happens to be living in America.
He does have some problematic ideas, though, doesn't he?
Well, he has some honest ideas, like any high IQ man does, and he's not afraid to state them as well, because he's not concerned with social status. Now, Christopher Langham has stated that people create tulpas, and this is why media is such a dangerous tool, because it creates fear in them, and their tulpas therefore are bad. If you could use people to create good tulpas instead of Karens and Slenderman, the world would be an infinitely better place. When people are creating tulpas like making cathedrals a beautiful stained glass window, there's an example of when our reality was shaping the world to be a more beautiful place. But now it's ooga booga clap clap music while someone desecrates an S-type Jaguar. Yeah. Fuck you, whoever that channel was. I forget the name, but I was really pissed off. Last night, I was watching paint dry in the video, and I got really wound up with it. So I wrote my displeasure.
Alphabet Cat says Jeffrey Darwin always seemed happy. His fridge was still well stocked up, and his kettle. Didn't they find a knob in the kettle? Didn't they?
Is this like Dennis Nielsen's boyfriend?
Yeah, it's very. It was just copying Dennis. Anglos did it first. Remember that.
That's it. Yeah. So anyway, carrying on with the story. A post shared on Reddit read, "Right now, I'm a nice restaurant listening to a woman complain to the manager." Oh yeah, she asked for the manager that her steak pie is too large and she wants a refund. She wasn't one that warned the pie came with so much mash and veg. She will just share her husband's pie. Remove this pie. In follow-up, oh god,
So a poor husband, like men need more calories than men. Men need more calories than women for no apparent reason, because women and men are exactly the same. There's no differences.
Yes, they are.
But like the poor bloke now has got to lose half of his dinner because this woman's just a massive bitch. That poor bloke.
Yeah. You know what? That phrase, "You've made your bed, now you got to lay in it." What they mean is like that bloke has to share a bed with that woman.
Yeah. He's made his bed. He shit the bed. Now he's going to have to lay in it. Isn't he?
In follow-up comments, the person who shared the post said the woman was very clear that she wouldn't be paying for the pie and therefore refused to take it over meal home in a doggy bag. They added, "The lady at the hyacinth bouquet." Oh, the lady with the hyacinth outfit.
Bouquet outfit.
Yeah. The bouquet residence, lady of the house speaking. Does not carry.
They filmed a lot of the later ones in Northampton.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, you see them running past the Debenhams quite when they're running around town and stuff. They're actually running up and down the drapery.
I absolutely hated that show because of her shrill voice.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, being that it was a sitcom not directed by me, it doesn't end with the brutal dismemberment of her body by a long-suffering husband who then burns the house down in murder-suicide.
He's one of those like he quietly gets his own way or gets his own back on the load, doesn't he?
I never watched the show enough to find that out. I just assumed that he was long-suffering.
Yeah.
She's absolutely. Oh yeah, that's it. Not carrying the lady with the bouquet residence, lady of the house, does not carry a pie in the bag.
And the long-standing joke that Sheridan was gay, but she didn't get it. That's the other thing about that.
Is that the one played by Angus Deaton?
No, he was always on the end of the phone.
Oh, okay. And she's absolutely not going to be paying for it. She made that very clear indeed. The post received over 50 comments from baffled Brits who struggled to wrap their heads around the concept of any pie being too large, as many of them began to poke fun at the woman's confusing statements. One person said, "I'm sorry, I don't understand this concept of any pie being too large." While another added, "It's like, chuck her a few quid and take the pie off her hands. And a third wrote, insults, pies, every. I mean, in what world do you go, I've paid for something and I've got more than what I received, I demand a refund? Like, it'd be like, oh no, I've bought a Jag and now I've got another Jag. What shall I do with the second Jag?
I want a refund on this Jag.
Yeah, I want a refund. Now you've given me 2 Jags for the price of one. I want a refund for both. Is this woman not Hyacinth Bouquet? Is this woman like Sarah Silverman or something?
I don't know. She's pretty bad, isn't she?
I don't like her, whoever she is.
She's insane, isn't she? That poor, you know, that poor bloke spends half his life of like just quietly being embarrassed around this.
I mean,
don't you?
is being in the relationship really worth this? The problem is, I see it as well. Like, I see people that they're suffering in relationships, and everyone tells them, like, no, leave him, he's no good for you. No, leave her, she's no good for you. And they stay with them. And I really don't get it. I suppose it's like people like with jobs as well. They stay in bad jobs. They stay in bad relationships. They're not prepared to just go, you know what, this is bad for me. It's bad for my health. I'm not benefiting from it. I'm going to leave.
It gets even funnier further down up it.
Oh, all right. Let's carry on with it. Someone else said, I used to work in hospitality, and a man once complained that his soup was too hot. It's like, oh God, my soup's too hot. Whatever shall I do? I mean, because we all know the laws of physics. Once your soup's too hot, that's it. You can't have it.
It might be gazpacho soup, I bet.
Ah, yes. This gazpacho soup is too cold. Someone else shared, I sat in the restaurant one time and had to listen to a woman who came with a work party complain that a steak was smaller than the others. The poor waitress tried to explain to her that hers was smaller because she asked for it well done, but this was completely lost on the woman. Yeah. I don't want to carry on anymore.
Women, know your limits.
Yeah, it's just... You need Harry Enfield to give them a slap and just say, look, shut up, stop trying to use your brain, you'll only get confused.
Women, know your limits. Yeah, really crap, weird news section.
Oh, okay, you know what? There's a story here which I do want to read. This sounds like a palate cleanser. People gobsmacked over man's demonic pizza slicing method. What, does he cut into a Star of David? No. But some say he's a genius. And so now we've read the headline, let's repeat the headline. A man has left people gobsmacked by showing his bizarre way of slicing a pizza. There's some calling it a demonic excuse for a human, but others say he's a genius. This is also written by Zana Eklund. We all know that when you slice up a pizza, which for some reason has hyperlink, you cut from one end to the other in evenly spaced lines. Yeah. In evenly spaced lines, and there's a stock photo of a pizza as well. So you end up with triangular slices or wedges. In fact, that method of cutting is usually used for any food that comes in a circular shape, including cakes, quiches, and pies. Well, why haven't you mentioned omelettes or tortillas or burritos?
Speaking of this, just to interrupt you ever seen the Pizza Hut advert? I mean, this is paranormal. You ever seen the Pizza Hut advert with Donald Trump in it?
I've seen the Michael Gorbachev one, and that's why people are saying, rest in peace, Pizza Hut man. But no.
Well, Trump eats the crust first.
How does he hold it then?
Over way around, but eats the crust first.
So you tell me he's got his fingers on like the greasy bit and he's eating the dry bit?
Yeah.
Look, I understand that billionaires are a different class of human being, but... I'm going to read the story, then I'm going to watch that, and then whilst you're reading something, I'm going to just interject with, oh my God, that's disgusting. But anyway, so Zana Eklund, who hasn't given other examples of circular food that could be cut into regular triangular sections, one man has cut a store online by daring to break the mould with his interesting method of cutting pizza, which shows he uses reserves, especially for when he has pepperoni as a topping, since cutting it evenly down the middle would also involve slicing some... He's right. If you try and slice a piece of pepperoni, it doesn't work.
Is that autism?
No, it's just that... Look, you've tried cutting a pizza, right? You've had a pepperoni pizza. You know when you put the pizza cutter over it, and then like the pepperoni doesn't slice, and it just gets smudged and gets mushed around. So basically, he cuts like abstract segments of pizza so that he doesn't slice over any bits of pepperoni. And there's a photograph here. I'm going to copy that image into general, and here it is. So yeah, he basically cuts them into asymmetrical segments so that no slice of pepperoni gets cut. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm really not enthusiastic about
so
pepperoni.
he literally
as
just
a pizza.
cuts around the pepperoni.
I'm not enthusiastic about pepperoni as a pizza topping. I'd much rather have like ham and mushroom. And,
You know, I don't think you can beat a nice 5-cheese pizza.
whilst we're on the subject of this, right, I do actually like a simple margherita pizza when it's done well. Actually with like fresh ingredients and tomato that tastes like tomato. What's this thing about Hawaiian?
chorizo? Alphabet Cat says. I don't think you're a fan of the chorizo, are you, Abbott?
There are nicer Spanish sausages around. Fouette or saucisson sec, which is French but similar to fouette. Much nicer. I like spicy things.
Uno says Domino's should cut it first.
I like spicy food. I think goulash is quite a good use of paprika. I don't think paprika in a sausage really works. And yeah, I've eaten merguez and I quite like merguez, so I'm hypocritical. All right, sue me. Whilst we're on the subject, Hawaiian pizza. Why do people hate Hawaiian pizza? I mean, ham and pineapple is a really nice combination. So why wouldn't you?
I'll allow it. I think people make a great big fuss about anchovy.
No, that's the thing, right? I actually quite like anchovy in moderation, but I've never eaten an anchovy which didn't just taste like pure salt. There's never been a time.
I don't know why people make a huge fuss about anchovy. I just don't understand it.
Well, do they not like it?
Mm.
I like anchovy, but that's the thing, right? I went to this, restaurant and it had a wood-fired pizza, and like the people were saying like how great the pizzas were, and I was like, okay, you got an anchovy pizza, I'll have that then. And I was like, and then the waitress was coming up and saying, how's your pizza? And I was like, well,
hold on, I found a genuine weird news bit. Finish off then, Hobbit.
Yeah, I was just saying, well, look, if you told me this was a garlic pizza, I believe you, because all I can taste is garlic. He says, oh yeah, there's a bulb of garlic on the pizza. It's like, right, but I ordered an anchovy pizza. Well, it's got anchovies. Like, yeah, but I can taste garlic. So you're not happy with it? No, not really. It was overpowering. So they're calling him a demonic excuse for a human. And one person says she hasn't run away yet. She should. You are a monster. One only simply said, what the fuck? Third jokingly stated, you demonic excuse for a human. Why? Just why? So a lot of people are upset because he doesn't cut his pizza in a thing.
Mm. Do you like square pizza?
I like. Yes, I do. But
IKEA
just
usually do a nice square pizza.
The top comment on here says, in the West, says demonic pizza slicing method. What is demonic about that? Zana Eklund, were you drunk when you wrote that?
So I found some actually genuinely weird news. Nostradamus' prediction that Mystery King could reign after Charles abdicates. The predictions of Michel de Nostradam have excited the public imagination for centuries, and the astrologer appears to have made a bombshell prediction about the future of the royal family. Nostradamus predicted that King Charles' reign could be very short, and that soon he will abdicate, paving the way for Prince Harry to become... Why is Prince Harry hyperlinked, and why is King Charles hyperlinked?
Isn't Prince William first in line for the throne now?
Yes, this is what they're saying that's weird about it. An expert has claimed author Mario Reading, is that Reading or Reading? I don't know how to say it. A leading expert on the 16th century astrologer has reinterpreted the prophecies of Nostradamus. The thing about Nostradamus, they are so fucking vague, aren't they?
Alphabet Cat said anchovy is the equivalent of Italian MSG. You're right, actually, and the great thing about that, the Romans used to use a thing called garum, which was just, and in Umbria they make it now with anchovies and salt, and they just collect the fish juice. It's bloody delicious. I absolutely love it. And people don't realise that when I'm making like a chicken dish or like any meat dish, I put fish sauce in it, And they go, "Oh, how do you make it so delicious and savoury?" And I said, "Well, it's my secret ingredient. Yeah, I basically just use rotting fish juice." Mary Reese says literally every English king called Charles dissolved Parliament. Well, he's the third Charles, so
yeah.
It's.
Well, you know what happens in the trilogy. They subvert it, don't they? After reinterpreting original predictions made by Nostradamus 447 years ago, Reddin suggests a man who never expected to become king takes the throne. This has led to the bombshell claim that this might be referring to Prince Harry, or it could be talking about the Queen's grandmother. The Queen's grandfather, not his grandmother, not her grandmother. Or the Queen's father. Fucking hell. What the hell is wrong with me? The Queen's father. What's his name? George the Fifth, is it? Sixth?
The father of Queen Elizabeth II, King George.
Yeah, George, yeah. Yeah, so, he wasn't expected to become king. So it's like, wrong.
Dom, just to address the chat. First of all, Alphabet Cat, who is Uncle Roger? Dom, my name is The Hobbit. It's not just a meme. I genuinely am interested in food and cooking.
Second breakfast. Hobbit is a big fan of second breakfast.
And second dinner and third dinner.
Have you watched Lord of the Rings yet?
No, but Ian says, I don't know what people's problem is with Meghan, I'd fuck her. It's like, but I'm thinking a prince like Harry could. Why didn't they just hook him up with Harry? Why didn't they just hook him up with one of the princesses of Monaco or Liechtenstein or Belgium? Even?
Well, weren't they going to hook him up with that Swedish one, weren't they? Or he was hooking up with that Swedish one.
Well, that's why I think it's like a humiliation ritual. Like the royal family said, Harry, you're a bastard, and this Jewish matchmaker is going to hook you up with a African American divorcee who is older than you, and whose father at the wedding said, if anybody should know why they shouldn't be married, say no, hold your peace.
Are they literally now just going, aha, see, we just deposed Edward the Seventh, is he?
Who's Edward the Seventh?
The Queen's uncle, the one that got he had to go because he married a divorcee. Because you're not allowed to be king when you marry a divorcee, are you, Hobbit?
Didn't know that was
Edward
a rule.
the Eighth. Yeah, that's the rule. They got rid of him apparently. And are they just fucking dabbing on it now? Like Harry could, following this thing, like Harry could become king and he's married a divorcee, and Charles is married a divorcee. So, is it a rule or fucking isn't it?
I thought second in line for the throne would be Prince William's son. What's his name? George?
George.
Well, so Prince George.
Shows how much shit this bloke's talking then, doesn't
it? Right. Okay, let me have a look. Who is in line to the throne? I want to know now. Right. Who is in line to the throne?
It'll be William. It'll be Charles. Well, Charles is there. Charles, William, son, daughter, isn't it? Is it? What's her name? Charlotte. George and Charlotte.
So let's. I'm looking on a PBS article about it because that's that.
So this idiot. Anyway, let's carry on what this idiot's talking about. He said the preamble is that Queen Elizabeth II will die circa 2022 at the age of around 96, 5 years short of her mother's term of life. Reading goes on to speculate that the term King of the Islands, used in one of Nostradamus' prophetic poems, means that by the beginning of King Charles III's reign, much of the Commonwealth will have broken away, leaving the realm confined to the British Isles. This sounds completely made up. Prince Charles will be 74 years old in 2022 when he takes over the throne, but the resentments held against him by a certain proportion of the British population following his divorce from Diana, Princess of Wales, still persist, Redding claims. He then goes on to speculate that go on then.
So, right. First in line to the throne is Prince William, then Prince William's son, Prince George, then Prince George's siblings, which are, he's got siblings? Princess Charlotte, who's 7, Prince Louis of Cambridge is 4. After that would be Prince Harry, then it would be his children, Lilibet and Archie.
I'm going to read one more paragraph because I'm not giving this any more credence. Redding says that with William unable to take up the royal role for whatever reason, that Prince Harry by process of default becomes king in his stead. That would make him King Henry the Ninth, aged 38. What a load of shit this bloke is talking.
Except for the fact that Prince George exists, and he's, he's second in line to the throne.
Well, it's he can't take up the royal role for whatever reason, apparently.
Ian's horny posting on Maine about his sexual fantasies he'd have with Meghan Markle.
I can't see Ian's posts. Oh, yes, I can
on the
now.
chat.
So I can't see him now.
Did anyone but Cat Ladies Jenny like
Tom, you can pop on if you want. We're in the Discord.
We're in George, Stacey, Chantal, Krusty Dave, and Darren as the Greg succession order.
Right, so I've got a bit of content I was itching to do, so we'll do that now. So, Hobbit, you've never heard of Somerton Man. We talked about this yesterday, didn't we? So,
and I still don't know who he is, so
well, now
audience, I'm about to learn with you.
On December the 1st, 1948, because it said on the 1st of December, 1940. Oh, that's correct, isn't it? The corpse of a well-dressed...
I don't even know anymore. I've been 9/11.
Yeah, the corpse at 9th of November. The corpse of a well-dressed man was discovered slumped against the seawall at Somerton, near Adelaide, South Australia, promoting a decades-long mystery. He had no ID on him, all the labels were cut out of his clothes, and in his pocket there was a piece of plaid paper with the words, "Tamam shud, it is finished," is the translation, in Persian on it. This, in turn, was traced to a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, found nearby. The book contained the phone number of Jessica Thompson, a nurse who lived in Somerton, and a series of letters believed to be a code. A suitcase found at Adelaide railway station containing clothes and a laundry bag labelled T. Keane was later linked to the dead man, but extensive research concluded that no T. Keane was missing in any English-speaking country. As a result, for 73 years, speculation has run wild. Was the mystery man a spy? Was the nurse a spurned lover? Had he been poisoned? Where did he come from? And why did there seem to be no trace of him anywhere? Last year, South Australia's major crime investigation branch reopened the case and exhumed Somerton man's body as part of Operation Preserve, which seeks to put names to all unidentified human remains in the state. The intention was to try and extract a DNA profile that could then be used to trace his family tree using genealogy databases. What a chat saying. Biggest mystery, who cares? Diana's death was perfectly normal. It was just an accident, like 9/11 wasn't an inside job.
I wondered what that PGF was you put in there. Well, in the Fortean chat, there's the very first Fortean Words magazine, which was published by Zero.
The first and only.
Yeah, it was like, it's too much effort. It's like, mate, no one was asking you to, but we just, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody posted a gif of fucking magnets. How do they work with
he would have posted that, Hobbit.
It wasn't you. It was it Fraser?
I thought it was you.
There's no icon next to whoever posted it, so I don't know.
It will be if it's mid flow, then it's someone else that did it. Did you want to talk about the soft bigotry of Bush did 9/11?
Yes.
We'll do some of this content in a bit. Let me do Somerton Man first. Go on then, Hobbit.
Yeah. No, carry on with Somerton Man, because I was just going to say that news article is very anti-Semitic.
So DNA profile. It was hoped this would enable investigators to identify some of his relatives and finally give the mysterious man a name. However, the major crime investigation branch were not the only people on the track of Somerton Man's identity. Since 2009, Professor Derek Abbott... It's like Abbott is a massively common name in Australia, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know many Abbotts in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a criminal lot, aren't they? A physicist and electronic, they get upset when you call them criminals, don't they? The Australians.
Well, it's true though.
Russ Abbott, Diane Abbott. Yeah, okay, Ian. There's two. But yeah, a lot of Americans seem to be called Abbott, though. A physicist and electronic engineer from the University of Adelaide has been conducting his own investigation, and now he believes he has conclusively identified the dead man. Oh, Dom's in. That's what that noise is.
Yes, that's me.
Dom's swinging his microphone around his head. Have you ever heard of this Somerton man? I've heard of it before. Not a lot of people have, though. Dom.
I haven't heard of him, no.
No. Okay, I just wondered because it's a case I've heard about before. So Abbott also used DNA to make his identification, and while he did not have access to the exhumed corpse, he was able to use strands of hair found trapped in the plaster death mask made by South Australian police in the late 1940s. Abbott collaborated with American genealogist Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick to use the DNA extracted from the hairs to find... Yeah, you see, Fitzpatrick was bound to be there, Irish criminal. Used the DNA extracted from the hairs to find a match in a DNA database, which indicated that the individual was a distant relative of the man they were seeking. They then constructed a family tree around this until they found someone who matched the mystery man's description. The tree included about 4,000 people when that happened, says Abbott, who was concluded that Somerton man was 43-year-old Carl Charles Webb from Melbourne. Webb was born in 1905, but there is no record of his death. The most important thing, Abbott says, is that the DNA taken from the hair caught in the plaster cast of Somerton man matches with distant cousins of Carl Webb on both maternal and paternal sides of the family. It's not just that it matched, but it actually triangulated, so it's connected to a cousin on the father's side and a cousin on the mother's side. Further research revealed that Webb was an electrical engineer who wrote poetry and seemed to be a bit of a loner. While Abbott hasn't been able to answer all the questions surrounding Webb's death, such as exactly how and why he died, I mean, surely they should have done that at the fucking time, shouldn't they? He says that archival records have shed light on the case, revealing what he describes as a sort of banal explanation. Records show that Webb and his wife Dorothy were divorcing and that she had moved from Melbourne to South Australia. Well, this guy is somebody who sort of seems to be a bit of a loner from Victoria. What's he doing in South Australia, says Abbott. I suppose I should go. It's speculation, of course, but you know they can join the dots and say, well, maybe he's there to go and see her. His love of poetry accounts for the Rubaiyat Omar Khayyam. When it comes to the secret code, Abbott says, Adelaide University have been analysing for the years now. We've come up with a conclusion that it's not actually a code. It's just the first letter of some words. He had joked that they were the first letters of the names of horses, but the divorce papers show that Webb was fond of horse racing and betting, so that could actually be the case. There was also an explanation for the name T. Keane found in the luggage. Webb's brother-in-law was named Thomas Keane and lived near him. It seems logical that he got his hand-me-downs from his brother-in-law, Abbott says.
Sounds fair dinkum, you flaming galah.
Put another shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah. Webb's connection to Jessica Thompson remains mysterious, though. When shown his death mask, Thompson reacted as if she knew him, but denied this. However, DNA evidence conclusively excludes the theory that he was the secret father of her son, Robin. Curiously, Webb and Robin shared a genetic trait for which the chance of coincidence has been estimated between 1 in 10 million and 1 in 20 million, but it does seem to be a coincidence. Fucking hell, the dude should have put his lottery numbers on, not topped himself. As Webb's wife Dorothy is described in documents as a foot specialist. Was she a foot specialist? Good at happy endings, was she? Perhaps she knew Thompson through nursing. This line of inquiry had one positive outcome. Having met Robin's daughter Rachel in the course of the investigation, Abbott married her, and they now have 3 children. As to where the investigation might go now, Dr. Fitzpatrick says, I would like to see the toxicology done, and I would like to find out what happened to Dorothy. The official investigation has yet to come up with their verdict on the identity of Somerton man. Forensic Science South Australia has declined to comment on Abbott's findings, but South Australia Police stated they were cautiously optimistic that this may provide a breakthrough. Yeah, that's one I've heard of that case before, so it was kind of interesting for me to see a explanation for it.
By the way, I've just
Okay.
seen the picture of that pizza. That is horrific.
Mm. What's
Windows
that,
10 is just like, oh, it's sure a nice podcast you got there. It would be a shame if we would just suddenly start restarting right now. For fuck's sake.
dear.
I thought I installed that thing that stopped Windows 10 updates, and then when Microsoft was just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to disable that now and install some updates and go restart. Fucking bastard.
Oh, look at
It's my
Ian
computer, it's not
boasting.
yours, Bill Gates.
You seen Ian in the chat boasting on his Abbott knowledge?
Yeah, well, Ian, if you love Abbott so much, name all of them.
Yeah, name every one.
Everyone in the entire world.
Right, anyway, where was I? The world record has been set for the largest gathering of vampires after 1,369 Dracula fans descended upon the ruins which helped inspire the Gothic novel. Can you imagine what that smells like?
Patchouli oil.
Hobbit, what do you imagine that smell? I think it's quite a waft of BO there as well, isn't there?
I'm going to imagine, like, is there like fat-titted goth GFs there?
There's a lot of fucking ginger people there. I'm just having a look at the picture now.
A lot of snake biting black.
And fat old birds with big
tits,
coloured hair.
So I'm guessing that the gingers are scared of the light, therefore vampires.
Yeah.
Is that what they've sussed out?
Yeah.
I get sunburn. I've always known I was a vampire ever since I was young. Yes.
What else have we got in? Have you heard this one? Southern Rail Services on a line near Lancing in West Sussex ground to a halt for 2 hours after a pigeon struck a train, then burst into flames after hitting the electrical gear under the engine. And the incident affected the power supply, requiring the line to be closed and specialist engineers to be called in before the system could be declared safe and trains could run again. An unexpected pigeon on the line now, Hobbit.
All right. Okay.
When are you going to say? Didn't you have something you wanted to talk about, Hobbit?
Oh, there was a couple of articles in the Fortean words chat. We're
going to talk about how you're diminishing
fucking magnets. How do they work? The soft
bigotry of Bush did 9/11. Shall I see if you can find that one?
It's anti-Semitic because it really just, detract. Saying Bush did 9/11 doesn't give enough credit to all those dancing Israelis.
Oh.
And NORAD standing down. And lucky Larry Silverstein.
Lucky Larry Silverstein.
And also the way that...
No, Hobbit.
What?
The Atlantic did not publish an article that titled The Soft Bigotry of Bush Did 9/11.
Oh, has it been debunked?
Yeah, it's been debunked by fullfact.org.
Well, that's not Snopes, so I don't believe it.
It's full fact. Isn't full fact like the British or British? Is it
Look, if it's not Snopes citing Wikipedia articles which they've written themselves, then it's not believable.
Related fact checks. Wetherspoons has not stopped selling condoms for a royal period of mourning.
What?
That's it. It's. Do you want me to talk about this one? What was claimed? A Wetherspoons pub has stopped selling condoms from a vending machine as part of a royal period of mourning. Our verdict: this is not true. The pub company has confirmed the sign was fake. Wetherspoons does not have condom vending machines. Oh dear, that was pretty good. I got to say that's pretty good. What else did you want to talk about? Oh, did you see the bug-eyed things? Should I put that image up?
Yeah.
So what do you think to the bug-eyed things? Are they Dagon then, Hobbit?
I don't know what they are. I mean, you show them to the audience. An audience, your guess is as good as mine. They're clearly some sort of demonic freaks, but...
Yeah.
As to what sort of demonic freaks they are, I don't know. I am quite interested in some numerology, which, oh god, it's been 404, bastards. Well, that's okay. I can just...
Oh, I found a PDF on numerology. I can give you all the numerology you could ever want, Hobbit.
Or the numerology.
Yeah, do you want me to try and find it?
The Numa Hey.
Yeah.
Orology.
I can give you
numerology. He's dead clever. He's dead clever. He's got an ology.
He got an ology, you know.
By the way, I can name another 10 abbots. They're all abbots of the Abbey of St Edmund.
Are they real abbots?
Apparently they're called His Abbacy.
His Abbacy. Oh, that's a made-up name if I've ever heard it.
Oh, no, I've lost them. I was putting stuff everywhere the other day, and I think I've lost them in the shuffle. Let's have a look. Plug that back in. I'll find.
They look like. So what do you think those aliens look like? They look like the Greys, because I think they look more like the creature from the Black Lagoon.
I think they look Dagon, don't they? Like, what's his name?
You know what? It could be Dagon. They are fish people. What if it's a helmet, and that's why the large eyes in there? But they're just weird. They're sort of like frog-looking, fish people-looking.
It could be a helmet because you've got that kind of groove under the eye and nose section.
Yeah.
They look a bit Admiral Akbar. Yeah, only on that first one though.
It's a trap. Right. Well,
no guesses on this.
No, they look. I don't know. They look a bit. Do you want to? I did find this PDF. Oh fuck! It's 139 pages. I don't think we can go through this. But I do have. We'll do it for an episode. It's how to become invisible. I found a PDF on my hard drive of how to become invisible.
Okay. Also, I'd like to say, because he hasn't been mentioned this episode yet, Ian said, "What type of file format does Jimmy Savile prefer? Pedo file."
Pedo file.
PDF file. Just had to get Jimmy Savile into the episode.
I think is this the one? Oh god, I found a whole folder I had full of these like Alex Jones books and stuff like that. David Icke,
unfortunately, the rest
Satanism and symbolism. It's got some real good stuff on.
The article is lost. However, I do have the gist of it. The first post that Q ever made was on the 28th day of the 10th month 2017, which was 1776 days before the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, I believe that she died months before then, but they were waiting for an official time to announce her death, and it's an auspicious day to announce it.
They just used animatronics to moving about and stuff.
Oh, she hasn't been seen for months, has she?
I've got Zachariah Stitchin's books as well.
Do they truly die though, these lizard people?
Well, according to David Icke, the Queen Mother didn't die, but she was no longer able to shapeshift into a lizard form, and that's why she had to be retired from public. And the evidence he cites for that was how massive her coffin was.
Really?
Yeah, because they're saying
that was things, wasn't it?
It's not just shape changing, but it's that. Oh, come on, brain! You almost had it there. It's not just shape shifting, but size shifting as well. So in the reptilian form, they're much larger.
Yeah, but if she lost her powers to shapeshift, she wouldn't go to a larger form. So therefore, there would be no need for a larger coffin.
No, she was stuck in the thingy form, weren't she?
She was stuck in the reptile form.
Yeah.
So she couldn't get through the cat flap anymore.
Yeah.
What's this? If you get stuck in the reptile form in your dreams, then you're stuck in the reptile form in real life.
Yeah. If you poop in your dreams, you poop for real.
Which is weird because I've had dreams about pissing, but then I've woken up and my bed's dry.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
That time I dreamt that I'd ate the world's largest marshmallow and I woke up and my pillow had gone.
You got in there before me.
Oh, were you going to do that? Or did I beat you to that one?
Yep.
Oh, I can't find this fucking numerology book. I've got a massive book folder full of this stuff.
Thing is, I mean, what? Yeah, but what's the premise behind numerology? That
It's basically you can say anything about anything within if you're good at maths.
yeah, I mean, maths is kind of like the code in our world, really, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
People do
It's
things
the
on
matrix.
auspicious dates, and I don't understand it myself, but one of Freeman TV's claims to fame is he predicted 9/11, not because he's got insider knowledge, but just because he says, well, look, 9 and 11 are very important Masonic ritual numbers. It's signaling it's... Let me see if I get this right. It's to... Because 10 is like it's in the hermaphrodite because it's both male and female. So when you get 9 and 11 put together, you end up with 20.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it's supposed to be significant, but it is.
I don't know, but it is.
Yeah.
What's
How does
significant about the 9th
numerology-
of November?
Numerology, how does it work? I don't know, but it does. And it literally... And I know I'm being flippant, but at the same time, like I'm also like serious about this. That's look. Just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that people in the know don't understand it. They do, and they do things on certain dates because those dates have meaning and reason for them. That's why they do them. And that's why they're saying like there's weird things happening with the stock market now because it's the end of a jubilee and it's also the Shemitah ends on the 25th of September, which by the way, the 17 days of mourning will also finish on the 25th of December. So I'm not saying that Prince Charles went to a synagogue and they said, yeah, can you make the days of mourning end on the Shemitah because reasons, but I'm also saying it's a funny coincidence. And also I'm also saying I don't believe in coincidence, so you know.
Is it like a coincidence? It's a synchronicity.
I'm just saying that, you know, that there's a lot of coincidences happening. Like it's a funny coincidence that a few days before 9/11 happened,
Lucky Larry.
I want to say Lucky Larry Silver, Silverstein. I can't remember. It's Silverman. But anyway, the owner of the World Trade Center complex took out an insurance policy for terrorist attack by plane hijacking. Which, if I was the insurance underwriter, would be, gee, Mr. Lucky Larry, that's a very specific set of circumstances you want to be insured against. You wouldn't have to have some prior knowledge. You're not up to something nefarious, are you? You're not trying to commit insurance fraud, are you, Mr. Silverstein? Silverman? Silver? Not that he would. No, he never would do such a thing.
Not Larry.
Oh, okay.
He was behind 9/11.
Dopey Chris says 9/11 in Roman numerals can be written IXXI, which is the pillars of. It's the. In Freemasonry, there's these pillars, and then there's got the thing. It's basically IXXI is a Masonic sign, and I'm sorry, I don't remember what it is.
Well, this numerology book, it had loads of. Oh, fuck, I'm really pissed off I can't find it because it was quite good and it weren't that long either.
You're just like Holly with your children's illustrated encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Isn't numerology just kind of like astrology?
I found it. Occultic numerology.
Yeah, which again,
do you want me to go to the?
There's a lot of bullshit in
stuff?
astrology. Well, just a minute, just to respond to what Dom said. Yes, it is just like astrology. A lot of people talk a lot of bullshit about it and spout nonsense because they don't really understand it, including myself. But then other people in the know, they do things on these suspicious dates because they do understand it.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it doesn't matter if you believe it; they do, and that's what matters.
But I mean, the thing you can say with astrology is, like, it used to be known that you'd plant your seeds in certain seasons, and it would correspond to the signs of the zodiac.
Yeah, because there's that rumor, isn't there, that the Greek myths are actually about farming, aren't they?
Well, farming is significant, but they also had Hephaestus, the crippled god, because it used to be a thing that if you got a blacksmith, you break his legs so that he can't run away, because a village with a blacksmith is very important.
Yeah.
And then somebody figured out, like, here's an idea: if you pay the blacksmith a decent wage, he won't run away.
Right, so numerology, I found it. Let's take a look at September the 11th. The groundbreaking ceremony of the Pentagon, symbol of the 33 degrees, was on September the 11th, 1941, on the 77th degree longitude. What was the 60-year anniversary of the groundbreaking of the Pentagon, Hobbit?
Tell me. Seriously, I don't know.
1941 plus 60.
That's 1991?
2001, Hobbit. Nearly there.
Oh, but 1991 was when George Herbert Walker Bush did the New World Order speech.
Oh, but yeah, that's the next part. That's the next paragraph.
Well,
okay.
That's referring to the 9/11 attack on the Pentagon specifically, is it?
No, what it is, they broke ground on the Pentagon on the September the 11th, 1941. So they had the, where you stick the sword, you stick the shovel in, everyone claps, and that's that.
Yeah, but like 60 years to the day.
Yeah.
It's because it wasn't just the World Trade Center, was it? It was the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Completely forgotten. I often forget about that as well.
Yeah, and the other building that you're supposed to forget. So as Hobbit's already said, so the New World Order. George Bush Sr. gave the speech before Congress saying, "It's more than a big idea. It's a new idea. It's a new world order." So that speech was September the 11th, 1991. And what was the 10th anniversary of that, Hobbit?
That was the 11th of September. The conspiracy by Americans to get us to use their month-day notation scheme, when really it should be day, month,
I didn't
year.
know. Dom, do you remember a small remote control Cessna being flown into the White House in 1994? No.
No,
I don't remember that either, but it happened, and that was so. What was so that happened September 11th,
1994.
1994.
Isn't 1994 also when they had the bombs in World Trade Centers 1 and 2, which was into the basement?
I think we'll come to that in a bit. So that's September 11th, 1994. So, and that was 7 years. The 7th anniversary of that was 9/11.
What happens if you times 9/11 by 1,563,265?
I haven't finished yet.
To be honest, there aren't very many no news days around the world, are there? So everything match up with everything if you want it to.
So are you trying to just say this is all a coincidence?
So if you add 60, which is the Pentagon anniversary, if you add 10, which is the New World Order anniversary, and you add 7, which is the Cessna anniversary, you come up with 77. 77.
Oh yeah, that's an auspicious number, because our bombing was on the 7th of the 7th.
Yeah.
When was the Bali bombing?
I don't know.
Do you remember that was a big thing for Australians, wasn't it? The Bali bombing.
I thought the Bali bombing was the one that the Bali bombing was the first, as I remember. It's like its first reference to Osama bin Laden for me. It was anyway.
Hang on a minute. I was born in '76.
Oh.
I spent most of my first year in 1977.
Yeah.
So, are they saying I'm the Antichrist?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Oh, excellent, cool.
The Bali bombings occurred in 2002.
Yeah.
On October and the 12th day.
What?
So the 12th of October 2002 is when
what's the bombing that I remember that led up to 9/11?
That led up to 9/11.
I thought there was one in I thought there was another one in the same. I thought the Bali bombing was before. Or have we just come into some? Have we just come into some Mandela effect now? Have we?
The Bali bombing came afterwards. I do remember it. Because at the time,
so much Mandela effect as beer effect.
Yeah. Well, I've only had 2 Guinnesses. So let's talk about the flight numbers on September the 11th, 2001. Flight 175, which is 1 plus 7 plus 5 equals 13. So you've got flight 11, flight 77, and flight 93. Left gate.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Left gate 17, which is 1 and 7. And you actually thought...
Is this trying to prove? What? Seriously? All numbers happen all the time.
These numbers happen, and when they do, you need to pay attention. If you don't pay attention, then that's why the New World Order wins, Dom.
The joke's on you.
Dom, because you're thick at maths, that's why these evil paedophiles are winning.
They're trying to tell you what they're doing. They have to tell. It's the rules. They have to tell you what they're doing. Just you're too thick to pick it up, Dom. That's what it is, mate.
Yeah, you thicko.
Yeah, you could put it all together if you wanted to, but you don't want to, do you?
Through it. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're too thick. You can't count to 10, yet alone 77.
And you actually thought that radical Muslims with plastic knives and box cutters did this, then you must be brainwashed. Try Masons. Flight 77 and 11 never hit any buildings. Small commuter jet hit the first tower and a small commuter jet hit the Pentagon. Watch the tape that was on PBS again. Those 2 planes were landing in a remote location. The pilots of 93 got back control over the remote control, so they had to shoot it down, or they would have testified that the plane was taken over remotely. There were no hijackers on those planes. That is why the wreckage outside Pittsburgh was spread out over 7 to 10 square miles. That was right in the Pittsburgh newspapers. That's not a ground collision. That's a mid-air explosion.
Hang on a minute. Are they using the 7 again as the lower part of a range of numbers? That is really stretching it.
One of the planes had 93 passengers and crew. Another had 58 passengers. 5 and 8 equals 13 and 7 crew. Each plane had 7 crew.
Yeah, I'm convinced.
Yeah. Dina Burnett, whose husband was on flight 93, says her husband called her from the plane at 9:20 a.m. 9 plus 2 equals 11. Then she called the FBI. That was 2 hours before the plane went down. How long does it take to scramble F-16s? More deceit. A passenger called Todd Beamer on flight 93 supposedly placed a 13-minute telephone call to a phone operator. Who in the hell would spend minutes of their life talking to a phone operator? Duh, get my wife, father, mother, friend, anyone but you. It's a lie.
Isn't that the really weird one? It's like, hello, this is your son, Roger Smith, or whatever his name was.
I don't know.
It's like the transcript of it was just like, is this real? And then someone pointed out, it's like, well, it wouldn't have been possible to make that call because in the plane, when you're travelling at 500 miles an hour, you don't stay in connection to a thing long enough.
This gets really snarky now, Hobbit. This bloke's losing his patience. At 9:42 EST, Mark Bingham phoned his mother Alice. Mum, this is Mark Bingham, the voice said.
That's it. Yeah.
She knew he was flustered. I want to let you know I love you. I'm on a flight from Newark to San Francisco, and there are guys who have taken over the plane. They say they have a bomb. Who would say Mum this is and say their first and last name? How stupid. The phone calls are such a joke. One guy said there were 3 hijackers. Another said 4. Duh. Can you count?
Well, next you'll be saying that you don't believe that the 19 passports were found in the wreckage. You know, the wreckage where it was so devastating that they couldn't even find like steel girders.
Well, I'll have you know, Hobbit. Todd Beamer even said that 27 passengers were prodded to the back of the plane. What did he do? Count them. This is really fucking snarky. This is.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think on that. Who reported the 27 passengers?
Todd Beamer. Todd Beamer said there were 27 passengers. Oh, sorry. Todd Beamer said there were 27 passengers. Did I say terrorists? I was thinking terrorists. I don't know what my brain went for.
27 terrorists.
Oh, yeah. Did I say terrorists? Yeah.
You said passengers, and then you started laughing because you thought you.
Yeah, because I thought I meant terrorists because my brain.
Alphabet Cat. That's the point. I mean, it's like saying the passports weren't made from reinforced Kevlar. I'm just saying, if I was going to make like armored suit or something, or I was going to make an armored vehicle, I would want my armored vehicle to be made out of the same material as Saudi Arabian passports.
While Todd Beamer was on the phone with Lisa Jefferson, Tom Burnett called his wife again. They're taking airplanes and hitting landmarks all up and down the East Coast. Dina told him, okay. He replied, we're going to do something. I'll call you back. That's not true. They only hit the World Trade Towers. Get some CIA agents that aren't stupid, please.
Yeah.
Liz Glick was still on the phone with Jeremy. He told his wife to take care of Emmy, their 12-week-old daughter, and have a good life. Liz and Jeremy spoke of their love for each other. I need you to be happy, he told her, and I'll respect any decisions that you make. Then he told her the passengers were taking a vote. Should they try to take back the plane? Well, they did vote. What did they do? Vote in front of the hijackers? And why would the hijackers let them place phone calls to begin with? Did they want to get shut down or something? Duh! It's Snopes writing this. It seems like Snopes are writing this. Sandy
Ray says, it's very confusing as to whether you guys believe the conspiracy theories or not. Well, that's the difficulty of your autism spectrum disorder, Bear Ray. You can't detect sarcasm.
I do and I don't. I don't subscribe to space aliens. Jewish space lasers blew up the Twin Towers.
Why not? That's cool.
Yeah. Sandy Bradshaw.
Haven't you seen Jews in space?
What colour would Jewish space lasers be?
Jews out in space, doing their best to save the Hebrew race. Jews out in space, when Goyim attack, we will give them a slap and send them back on their way.
Sandy Bradshaw, one of the flight attendants, phoned her husband Phil. Have you heard what's going on? My flight has been hijacked by 3 guys with knives, she said. Who was flying the plane? Phil asked his wife. I don't know who's flying the plane or where we are, she said. Sandy Bradshaw, who was trained never to...
Why don't you pull over and ask for directions then?
But does she have the fish or the chicken?
Is that it? They said, look, if I get one more complaint from you guys, I'm pulling over and crashing into that tower.
Sandy Bradshaw was trained never to spill hot coffee on a paying customer, slipped into the airplane's galley and began filling pitchers with boiling hot water. What the fuck?
Just a minute, Alphabet Cat. Yes, mini nukes might be one explanation for a spike in cancer rates. The other explanation was there was a lot of asbestos in those towers, and when they were turned into dust, people were breathing in that dust, and like you shouldn't breathe in asbestos.
I'm no expert, but doesn't it more commonly become?
It leads to mesothelioma.
Yeah,
I'm mispronouncing it, but. Basically, just look to see what the cancer rates were and see, like, oh, there's a lot of mesothelioma. What were people doing ingesting all that asbestos?
It could be just general carcinogens in the building material.
Well, that's the thing, actually,
rather than just us, because asbestos generally turns into mesothelioma, doesn't it?
No, here's the thing, right? Penn and Teller had this show called Bullshit. and they were really really upset about like people doing these 9/11 conspiracy theories. But they even said Rudy Giuliani was criminally negligent for saying that you should just go out and celebrate, try and get on like nothing's happening. Because of his actions, people went on breathing in that dust, and many of the first responders, etc., have died from dust-related issues.
Which the House kindly voted down because they didn't want to pay all that money, did they?
Well, you see, it's like they don't have the money for that because what about building a wall in Israel? They needed the wall in Israel.
What about another war in the Middle East?
Yeah, which is why they need that wall in Israel to protect from repercussion.
So
attacks.
Lou Nacke, Nacke, I don't know, is that Nacke? I don't know. Is the only member of the group who attacked the terrorists who is not known to have made a phone call. Although his wife Amy did have a message on her answering machine that contained only a noise and a click. How do they know he was involved then? Duh!
If I was on that plane, I'd think they were like shooting like Airplane 4 and I was an extra. It's like, oh, well.
From the back of Flight 93, CC Lyles, another attendant, reached her husband Lorne. Babe, my plane's been hijacked, she said. Stop joking, he said. No, babe, I wouldn't joke like that. I love you. Tell the boys I love them. It is kind of weird that if this was taken over by terrorists, that they'd just let everybody just make loads of phone. Did they just go? You're allowed to make phone calls, but you just can't tell anybody about what's going on.
The weirdest thing about this, and this is one of the reasons why I hope to see Time Traveller in my lifetime, is a number of people have been saying that Seth Rich was supposed to go on the plane that day, but it was hung over. So the Time Travellers.
He's not thinking about Seth MacFarlane, eh?
Yes.
Oh. that's the one of the Seths, basically.
Well, one of them's dead. The other one writes Family Guy.
Yeah, that. Who's Seth Rich then?
Seth Rich is the one that did allegedly did the DC leak and got killed for it. He's another one of the coincidences that just surround Hillary Clinton.
But did he too fancy like going for a light plane accident? He went for a light mugging. Oh, a light mugging.
He went for a light mugging where they didn't steal anything except for his laptop and the USB.
It's his life.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like with the Pentagon, the way they could have dispelled the conspiracy.
I'm calling bullshit on the
that.
Pentagon. Like, I didn't realise they only had one camera on the Pentagon. It's like holds America's top brass. Should be the most secure place on the entire Earth, but they only have one camera that points straight forward in the whole place.
The FBI seized the CCTV footage from a nearby hotel.
No, they only have one camera. No, they only have one
camera. Yeah. Oh, and also Building 7 went down that day out of sympathy for the other two buildings.
Well, of course, it went down because the BBC reported it first.
Oh, yeah, that's it. And then out of embarrassment, it's like, oh, better get demolished then.
Better demolish myself. I'm not saying I believe fully in the government's narrative, and I'm not saying I fully believe in Jewish space.
Well, why not?
Space lasers and hologram.
Do you need to go to re-education camp?
And I'm not saying I believe in hologram planes and Jewish space lasers, but I think the truth probably lies somewhere in between the two.
Well, Hemi, I find that your incredulity disturbing, and the audience do too. I think we. Oh yeah, 9/11. Happy 9/11, everybody! 4 days ago. Sorry we're a bit late to the party, but every Thursday.
We should have done a special on Monday.
What one where we just laugh at the 3,000 dead Israelis? Sorry, I mean Americans.
Yeah.
Which ones are we allowed to laugh about? Is it Israelis or Americans we laugh about?
You're not allowed to laugh about Israeli deaths.
Oh, okay then. Well, can I just say I'm really glad that all the Israelis that were working in the World Trade Center were off sick that day. So, fortunately, what could have been a second Holocaust didn't happen.
So the pair prayed. In the background, Lorne Lyles could hear what he now believes was the sound of men planning a counter-attack. They're getting ready to force their way into the cockpit, she's on. So he heard this over the phone. So they were saying it loud enough so a bloke could hear it over the phone. But the terrorists couldn't hear him. I do believe some. I do buy some of his incredulity at this incident. He could hear him on the background on his phone, but the so-called hijackers are they so-called hijackers for so-called Daesh? I could not hear them planning this so-called counter-attack. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you can't call them hijackers. You know what their pronouns are.
They're so-called hijackers.
There's a lot of so-calleds in this.
Yeah, it's it's like a snarky teenager, whatever. When he'd finished relaying his love for his family through Lisa Jefferson, that doesn't quite make right. A Todd Beamer put down his phone, still connected with the outside world. His last words are you guys ready? Let's roll. What is he, Optimus Prime? Is he? Let's roll out. Why don't you just yell it out? Why don't you just yell it out so the hijackers know what you're up to, Todd?
Ian has been saying, I wouldn't mind forcing my way into Megan's cockpit.
He was probably on a phone at 7-Eleven. Anna Wainio that's the real name of somebody apparently, was still on the line with her stepmother. I need to go, she said. They're getting ready to break into the cockpit. I love you, goodbye. Getting ready to break into the cockpit? What about the other hijackers? Come on, mainstream media. Do I look like I have dolt written on my forehead? There wasn't any passengers on those planes. Wake up.
Wait, is this you speaking, or is this like the voice of?
I'm reading it word for word. That's where all the snark's coming from.
Okay.
Can I just do an update to the poll? 16 votes are in. Half want Sequest BC. The other one wants Sea Trek.
Is it still 50? Is it 50-50 then? Is it?
Yeah. So there's this. I mean, have you cast your vote? Because I've cast my vote.
I don't think I can. I don't think you can cast a vote if you create the poll.
Cast my vote.
Yep.
So 50-50 then.
Also, Alphabet Cat says it's a coincidence that 9/11 is also the emergency telephone number for the USA. Yeah. See?
Why did ours happen on 999?
Well, they did it on 7/7 because 999 was a bit too far in the future.
Yeah. George Junior Boy announced the national state of mourning on September the 11th September the 11th for 11 days. Little Junior Boy presented his Patriot Act before Congress 11 days after September the 11th. This was 10,000 pages of legislation. Nobody could write 10,000 pages of legislation in 11 days. This means that it was written before September the 11th. Prior knowledge? Can you say high treason, children?
Well, okay, that bit I agree with. They had the Patriot Act ready to go.
Yeah. The Illuminati...
Can I just say that the Patriot Act is one of those things which is deceptively worded. Like, if I was an American, I want the dipping dogs into vats of boiling oil. I would call it the Protecting Puppies from Evil Chinese Act.
Yeah.
Oh, except you're not allowed to say evil Chinese. Protecting Puppies Act. And it's like, yeah, we're going to raise your taxes 500%, and we're going to send the ATF to your door to shoot your dogs, and then we're going to raise beagles to put in vats of boiling acid.
As Ian says, 911 is the name of a boy band from the 90s. Very creepy.
Was it?
Yeah, 911.
So is E17, but that's irrelevant. Well, you say it's irrelevant.
Don't look at me, I'm irrelevant. Do you remember that one from the
Never got to number 17 yet. Think of the things number 17 has done.
It's one's irrelevant, seven has to be written in red. The Illuminati.
Well, I suppose when the government was like setting fire to children in Waco, basically. It's just like, oh, look, it's a criminal gang which acts with impunity. Well, that's nice.
The Illuminati illuminated the New York sky on March 11th, the 2002, for 33 days. The illumination even made an 11 in the sky. Could they be more arrogant? Yet low. Arrogance leads to ignorance. Did you see where they killed that boy down in Florida? They put his dead body on a plane, stuffed the note in his pocket, and flew the plane with the remote control into the Bank of America. Another symbol of America is attacked. Did you see the new logo right before that?
Wasn't that the plot to Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
Hobbit, you're doing it again. It's Weekend at Bernie's.
Wait, hang on.
For fuck's sake, Hobbit, watch your Weekend at Bernie's. You're not going to get them mixed up then.
I've seen both of those films back to back. Which is the one where they've got the Ferrari, but in order to take the miles off the odometer, they put the car in reverse. But then hilarious consequence happens, and the axle stand gets kicked down, so the Ferrari just like reverses out of the
I think that's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's called Ferris Bueller's Day Off because he's Ferris Bueller, and he's like masterminded this amazing day off of school. So,
and he fakes being dead.
He does not.
No,
fake
Bernie is actually dead, and they have to fake him being alive when he's dead.
Oh no! Hang on.
I think what I need to do is
no. I think I figured this out. He doesn't fake being dead. It's like a doll in his bed.
That's it. It's a doll.
And his mum looks in on him and thinks it's him.
He fakes being asleep. Hobbit. He doesn't fake being dead.
But some people say that like death is the ultimate sleep.
You're desperate to shoehorn the plot of Weekend at Bernie's into.
What we'll do, right?
So let me explain Weekend at Bernie's. That is completely different.
I've seen the film.
It's like where two employees go to see a guy who's called Bernie, and he's dead.
And they spend the weekend at Bernie's, Hobbit.
After some shoehorned in reason, fake that he's still alive, and then
I don't know.
Have you seen Weekend at Bernie's too, Dom?
Stapling his toupee onto his head and stuff. No, I haven't seen number 2.
Number two, they actually get him moving through a voodoo spell because they take him to the Bahamas.
I don't know, guys. I mean, that sounds a lot like the plot to Men at Work, except they never go to the Bahamas and that. But I tell you what.
I think that number 2 is the reason why there wasn't a number 3 by the sounds of it.
Number 2, they did it about 10 years later and pretended it was the next day.
When Paramount takes up my idea for Sea Trek and then it's like, okay, this is great, what do you want to do next? What I need to do is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. No, Ferris Bueller's Weekend Off at Bernie's. And I'll make a film that combines both Bernie's and Ferris Bueller's.
Shouldn't it be Ferris Bueller's Weekend Off at Bernie's?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they do the two films together. It'll be... And then also I need to do like Goodfellas, but like the Hobbit edit, which is not the director's cut. Because now I really like Goodfellas, but I cannot remember a single scene with what's that guy, Robert De Niro, in it. Like Joe Pesci's pretty prominent in that film. Ray Liotta is like the main guy.
But Robert De Niro's when they open the boot and that bloke's still alive and he just goes
stabbing him. And,
I can't remember a single scene with Robert.
Remember the market where he?
Where he's going to kill his wife.
He's going to kill his wife, and he was kind of creepy and standing near her and stuff. The runner. Yeah, that's the scene that sticks out with me.
I don't know, guys. None of this is making sense to me. Do we have time to do Unexplained Mysteries?
Did you want to do a little bit more? There's still a little bit more of this.
Yeah.
No, there's not much more of this left. So 2 blue stripes, 2 red stripes, 2 11 stripes. 11 equals 33. Dun 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 dun. 33 degrees of masonry. You're being played. The Masons set up shop in DC and set up their criminal enterprise there from the beginning. They figured they'd stick around until people ran them out. They're still there. So this is from, I think this is from, is this from Revelation? Upon an eastern coast of a land once of the free sits a king who likes to boast that he has democracy. Ruling by imposition, breaking the laws of the land, causing a great depression, he wields the fatal hand. Raining hell upon the earth, harming people in his turn. Satan rejoiced with his birth, and then his people will learn. Yet maybe not all is dark, history has seen his fall. The one-eyed man has found his mark, riding the truth he will call. For the king with little wisdom... Oh, God, they're done.
I come from a land down under.
Who's the one-eyed man? Is that his trouser snake?
For the king with little wisdom looks not to the past, seeing only that his kingdom a vision that will not last. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man will be king, and the veil will be lifted so that blind will see. In the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed man will be king, and the veil will be lifted, and the blind will see. A metaphor, a revelation of truth, and the truth will slay evil, and the only truth will set you free. Self-sufficiency, freedom, peace, love, earthlings.
Oh, free energy and cannabis panacea for all your ills.
Yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
So just from the start...
We solved the riddle of the Sphinx, guys.
Yeah. So just from the start, so you know what the numbers are. So their numbers are 3, 7, 11, 13. Multiples of them: 3 times 7 equals 21. 3 times 11 equals 33. 3 times 13 equals 39. 7 times 11 equals 77. 7 times 13 equals 91. And 93.
So if I use these,
yeah.
If I use these numbers in the national lottery, what will happen?
You'll summon a demon. And 93 is out of black magic or a dark form of the occult. They will also use 19.5 sometimes, and that is half of 39.
Oh God, not 39. I'm so fucked off with 39.
Uno says, who wrote this book? CIA shill.
I'm finding it hard to believe all this. Do you ever think like there's like genuinely like some valid stuff with this numerology stuff, but then they just muddy the waters with so much bullshit?
I think they do with everything, Hobbit. I think there's a kernel of truth. I think there's a kernel of truth to everything, but then it just gets fucked up, doesn't it? The idiots. Where you get misinfo agents, you get disinfo agents also as well, don't you? So you get people
Alex
who genuinely
Jones.
don't know what they're talking about, and you get people who are trying to lead people up the garden path, don't they?
I remember in 2002, Alex Jones was saying that David Icke is a turd in a punch bowl. He's got all these really good ideas, like a great punch, but then just imagine someone's taken a dump in it. No, it's ruined the entire thing.
So I'll play it again for everybody.
Since that time, Alex Jones has come round to David Icke's way of thinking.
What, being a turd in the punch bowl?
No, like having David Icke on his show and saying, you know what, you're right on with a lot of this stuff, and I was sorry to doubt you when I was younger.
Did he really do that? When did he do that?
Well, this was in 2002, and this was probably when Alex Jones was skirting the idea of being like a new Rush Limbaugh that's slightly edgier.
You can't find the Bill Cooper audio anymore. Oh, Alex, 6 minutes. Do you want 6 minutes of Bill Cooper slating Alex Jones?
Yeah, that'll do.
Before we get started,
The thing is, a lot of what Alex Jones does.
Discrepancy here. Apparently, the other night, or within the last week,
This is
because I've been
September
getting
the
a lot of
26th,
email about
2001.
this, and I even received one telephone call. Apparently, somebody called the Alex Jones broadcast and asked him why he didn't have me on the air, or asked him something about me. Alex Jones said he had me on the air once before, several years ago, and had to cut me off the air because of the foul language that I used. So on the air tonight, I'm going to tell you, Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, miserable, stinking little coward liar.
Ooh.
Now let me say that again so there's no mistake about it. You can all tell Alex Jones that I said this, and I suspect he's listening because he does. Alex Jones, you are a bold-faced, stinking, rotten little coward liar.
So on the whole,
I was
does he
only
like
on
or
the
not like Alex Jones?
Show one time. It was years ago when I didn't know who he was, when I didn't realize what a liar and a coward and a sensationalist bullshit artist that he is. He was on one little FM station down in Texas. He wasn't on all the stuff that he's on now. And I agreed to be on his broadcast. That's
Why is Bill Cooper not telling us what he really thinks of Alex Jones?
Years ago.
He's the real fence sitter.
Yeah.
I did not use any kind of foul
But have you
language
seen
whatsoever.
many of Alex Jones's
He treated
theories
me
have come
very
true?
well,
Yeah.
and I stayed on for the whole show. Some of you in Texas know that that's true because you heard the broadcast and you taped it. Later, when I found out who Alex Jones was and what he was doing to the truth, and what a cowardly liar and sensationalist he really is, every time he called me after that, I have
Bill, will you
always
just stop
refused
beating around the
to appear
bush?
on his broadcast. Absolutely refused to lend him any credibility whatsoever by appearing on his broadcast. And that made him very angry. I've also revealed him for the lying sensationalist bullshit artist that he is by every once in a while bringing to your attention the lies and the deceit
That's
and
what
the
someone was
rumors that he
projecting.
spreads over the airwaves that are not good for any of us, and they're not good for the nation. They are especially not good for militia and patriots.
Who's Melissa?
The most disgusting broadcast he ever did was on New Year's Eve, the year...
This is his side
2000.
piece.
The New Year's Eve, 1999, bringing in the year 2000, which he went completely out of his mind and claimed that Russia had launched intercontinental ballistic missiles with multiple warheads at the United States of America and actually panicked millions of people who were putting their children and their belongings in their cars and heading for the hills. Now, there's lots of things that can be said about me. Nobody needs to lie about me. Sometimes I am irritating. Sometimes I absolutely will not suffer fools and am just as rude as I can be. Nobody has to lie about me, Alex Jones. So I suggest that the next time somebody calls your broadcast and asks them about me, you tell the truth. There's lots of truth that you can tell about me. But don't ever lie on me, buddy, because I'll chop you off at your ankles. I will chew you up. I will spit you out for the lying, stinking, rotten little coward that you are.
Your buddy, pal.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have to say about Mr. Sensationalist, lying, rumor-mongering, bullshit artist, Alex Jones. Good evening.
What did he mean by
Yeah,
this?
Mr. Cooper.
Hi.
Listen, that Alex Jones interview was directly after you...
Well, I think Alex Jones exposed that he was gay in front of his wife or something like that, probably.
So what's this? Is he playing this clip for a reason, or is it just like part of an excerpt or something? So there you go. There you go. I'm just not sure what Bill Cooper thinks of Alex Jones. He just keeps it under his hat, doesn't he?
That's it.
Yeah.
So we'll never figure out.
Bill Cooper died in a mysterious shooting, didn't he?
He did die. I thought it was a heart attack, or am I thinking of
someone said death by
Aaron Russo?
Yeah, Clinton associate.
It was in a light aircraft habit that was pissing out oil, and he decided to go up in it because it seemed like a good idea. Death. Right, let's have a look. As Cooper moved away from ufology, do you like ufology? Or have to call it ufology? I bet.
Do you mean UAPology now.
UAPology. The community towards the militia and anti-government subculture in the late 1990s. He became convinced he was being personally targeted by President Bill Clinton and the IRS. In July 1998, he was charged with tax evasion and an arrest warrant was issued. Cooper eluded repeated attempts to serve it. In 2000, he was named a major fugitive by the United States Marshals Service. On November the 5th, 2001, Apache County Sheriff's deputies attempted to arrest Cooper at his Eager, Arizona home on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and endangerment stemming from his disputes with local residents. After an exchange of gunfire during which Cooper shot one of the deputies in the head, Cooper was fatally shot. Federal authorities reported that Cooper had spent years evading execution of the 1998 arrest warrant. According to a spokesman for the Marshal Service, he vowed that he would not be taken alive.
Well, I guess he is suffering possibly. Now, guys, I don't know if it's just my internet connection or what's going on here, but unlike some verification, video websites like YouTube and Odyssey and Twitter, all of them, I'm getting streaming issues. I mean,
I literally just played that on YouTube.
Well, okay, right, yeah. But I'm having streaming issues. I'm not getting all this sort of stuff.
Oh shit! Hobbit, Sequest BC's.
Okay, 19 votes coming in. There's got new ones here.
Yeah.
Now, but I go on 4chan and the video files in that load fine. So what's going on, guys? Is it just a me problem, or are you guys experiencing it as well?
No, that's it's fine, isn't it? I just played a YouTube video, the Bill Cooper one.
Okay. Well, my computer's having trouble connecting to the VPN as well, so I should try Twitter on my phone, see if that works.
Dopey Chris says maybe he meant the Alex Jones from the One Show, you know, the Welsh bird on BBC.
Yeah, I remember once reading a TV guide, and it's like, oh, Alex Jones is going to be on the One Show, and then I watched it, and then they're just saying, and here's Alex Jones, and it's like, but that's a woman.
That's a Welsh bin, yeah.
That's not Alex Jones.
So, did you want to do some unexplained mysteries, Hobbit?
You know what? That's much better. Now I remember why I clicked away from Twitter. Right. I really wish I hadn't seen it, but there's actually no. I won't talk about it on the air. It's just too disgusting.
What?
It's a sex toy, and it's for gays, and it's horrible, and I just don't want to talk about it on the air.
Oh, grim. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I clicked off of Twitter. I just wanted my feed to update.
How about this one, Hobbit? We'll never take over the world, says eerily human-like robot.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh, you fucker. So that's in a recent video posted up by British robotics company Engineered Arts. Various individuals can be seen having a conversation with Amica, an impressively lifelike humanoid robot capable of mimicking human expressions and mannerisms. In one clip, a man asks Amica about a book entitled Robots that is sitting on the table. There's no need to worry, Amica replies. Robots will never take over the world. We're here to help and serve humans, not replace them.
I think it's just my internet's having shit in general, because now it's struggling to even download a 3.5 megabyte WebM file. Fuck's sake.
Did you want to hear this robot talking?
Yeah, go on.
Let's see how long it is.
Hi, Amica.
Oh, it's 7 minutes.
Hello, I am doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I wanted to ask you about
robot's terrible,
applications for humanoid robots. What are they used for?
It looks like a fucking 70s kung fu film.
There are many possible applications for humanoid robots. Some examples include helping people with disabilities, providing assistance in hazardous environments, conducting research.
Oh, those expressions are fucked. That thing looks evil. Someone needs to kill it with fire.
So I'm downloading at 33 megabytes a second from Steam, so
yeah.
I get a feeling that it's like parts of the internet are fucked, whereas other parts are working, or I don't know what the hell's going on. This is weird. Why would like some
Fucking
parts of
hell.
the internet?
How about this one? Man suffers 20,000 bee stings in horror attack.
Does he survive?
Yeah, I think he did.
A happy ending.
Let's have a look.
Well, not for the bees, they're dead. But, a happy ending for everybody else.
20-year-old Ohio restaurant, Austin Bellamy. That's an ironic name, isn't it? Had been up a lemon tree trimming branches last Friday when he accidentally cut into a bee's nest. Within seconds, a huge swarm of bees was all over him, stinging him repeatedly. His uncle and grandmother, who were watching from below, could do nothing to assist as they too came under attack from the insects. I was going to try and climb the ladder to get to Austin. I seen how high it was, but I couldn't get to him because he was surrounded in bees, his grandmother said. He was hollering, help, 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 and nobody would help him. God,
these earlogs won't leave me alone.
None of them could sting him repeatedly, though, could they?
No.
Each time a bee stings you, it rips its guts out.
Oh, God.
It sacrifices itself.
Eventually, an emergency medical helicopter crew was able to get to him and take him to safety. Whoever had been stung an estimated 20,000 times but in a very bad way. To save his life, doctors took the decision to place him in a medically induced coma. To make matters worse, he'd ingested as many as 30 of the insects. He had bees inside of him, and they suctioned bees out of him until Sunday morning. Fortunately, however, Bellamy has since woken up from his coma, and doctors believe he should go on to make a full recovery. Being allergic to bee stings and shit like that is quite rare, though, isn't it?
I guess in this case, it really is a case of you will eat the bees.
You will eat the bugs.
Yes,
bees.
bugs, that's it.
Yeah. Ghost hunters get ordained after hobgoblin encounter. What, they get pissed, did they? The incident occurred around 8 years ago when Vic Harbord and Christine Townend, along with members of the East Yorkshire Society Research Group, decided to conduct an investigation of the St Lawrence Church in Atwick, England, in the hope of encountering something paranormal. They brought along a spirit box, an electronic device used to pick up disembodied voices, in the hope of establishing a dialogue with a ghost and asked out loud if anyone wanted to communicate. They quickly got more than they bargained for, however, when Christine... Oh, fucking hell, Christine's moaning about a pie that's too big then, is she? They got more than they bargained for. I want to send this ghost back. I wanted a little ghost. Christine began to hear what sounded like a growling sound coming from the immediate vicinity. Going into the church ground, I got an eerie feeling straight away, she said. It wasn't long into the investigation when I actually heard a growl. I heard it 3, then 4 times. And after the 4th time, I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought, well, this is ridiculous. Is that what you'd think, Hobbit or Dom?
Is her name Christine?
When you hear
not Karen.
Christine. When you hear a growl, it's a negative energy. It's inhuman, obviously not very nice. The pair later discovered that, according to local legend, Atwick was once terrorised by a hobgoblin, a demonic creature said to be capable of shape-shifting from one form to another. In the end, they were both so spooked by their experience, they ended up getting ordained. Still to this day, we're not 100% sure what we encountered. When you start thinking about this folklore from years ago, then you start to think, well, it is true. There is some truth in this folklore.
But this is just stupid folk travelling to and fro. Think.
Jack Osborne thinks the government is covering up the truth about UFOs.
Who's Jack Osborne?
Ozzy Osbourne's son.
Oh God, is he still fat with his curly afro hair?
No, he's lost a lot of weight, hasn't he? And he looks like he's got AIDS, basically.
Is he? Oh, what's that other Seth I don't like very much? Who got angry with me because I left a comment about there being orchestras, swimming pools, and brothels in the Christmas factories, which doesn't bring Christmas to me. Ho ho ho! Come on, what's his name?
Rogen.
Seth Green.
Seth Rogen.
Who's Seth Green then?
Seth Green is Chris on Family Guy.
Oh, okay. No, Seth Green.
Yeah, Seth Rogen's the one that went all weird and he was good, but he went weird.
Well, he made Green Hornet, which was like the worst film ever, and he never quite got over it, did he?
Was that when they were like Paramount or whoever like said, "Hey, you do Robot Chicken? Do you want to make a film about the Green Hornet?" And he's like, "Do I ever?"
Did you hear HBO have scrubbed the Elf thing from HBO Max?
Yes, and it's going to be written off as a tax write-off now, which some people are saying is not what I don't know, but basically I find it funny.
What else have we got? They've changed the way they do it now. Now they put it in sections, and like you've read some of it, but not other stuff. Let's have a look down.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, they've fucked it up, haven't they? Some fucking web developing twat has.
Hey, look, we had a perfectly functional thing. Let's break it.
Yeah.
Oh, that happened to a thing recently. Fall Guys, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a nice user interface you got there. It would be a shame if someone fucked it up.
Climate change could impact the hunt for the Loch Ness Monster, Ian. Climate change could impact the hunt for the Loch Ness Monster. There are
Wait. Before you go on,
yeah.
Did you ever put the picture of that pizza on the on YouTube?
Do you want me to put the pizza up?
Yeah, on YouTube. It's horrific. It's the most horrific thing you've ever seen. I think.
Right, so that's that. We'll put another image up. I think it's that one. There you go. There's the pizza.
Show me mutilated people and thoughts and whatever.
How do they count the 20,000 bee stings? Oh shit! I need to finish this Nessie story, don't I?
3, skip a few. 99 to 20,000.
Imagine that, like 99. Oh shit! Start again. Do they weigh them or something? I suppose they could weigh them, couldn't they?
Right.
When they pull all the stings out.
Seriously though, is there enough space on the human body for 22,000 bee stings?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Dom, go and chainsaw through a bee thing, and we'll find out.
I reckon you could take 1,000 over the body.
Okay. So, climate change. This could all change in the coming years, however, when the effects of global warming begin to take their toll on the surrounding area and potentially on the monster itself, if indeed it genuinely exists. According to Joan Laurie, project manager of the North Highland and Islands Climate Hub, future climate change could result in a much more unstable environment for the monster. Loch Ness as a freshwater loch is deep and cold, making it an ideal place for Nessie to hide away from public view, ducking down to the depths to never quite be seen. This may change with the loch getting warmer and potentially drought impacting on its depths. So pick a fucking lane. Either we're all going to be underwater because the ice caps are melting, or the water's going to fucking get burned away. Which one is it?
Both
at once.
Yeah. Listen, they're prepping their narrative so they can take the story in different ways in the future.
Well, it's climate change. It's climate change now, so both can happen at once. Now you got climate change, can't they? Are we all done, guys?
Yeah.
Any more?
Conspiracy theory. The Great Fire of London was an inside job, and I can't read the rest of the article.
There's a bit from Fortean this month's Fortean Times. In California, bees can now be legally classified as fish. The decision by a state court judge enables bees to be listed as threatened or endangered under the California Endangered Species Act in the fish category. It's a great day for California's bumblebees, said conservationist Pamela Flick. Now that bees are fish now.
That's great.
They're not a great day for leftism.
Yeah.
The Great Fire of London was an inside job. A baker's oven is designed to withstand fire better than just about anything, and it is a very unlikely place for a fire to break out. That might be worth an episode.
I don't think they say it broke out in the oven. It's like you only need like a coal to jump out or something, don't you?
But no, I've worked with pizza.
Broke out in
before.
In the premises.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know.
I think we need to go before Dom gets any more drunk.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. To me, just like 6 million ovens sounds like too many for London.
Okay, right. Are we all done?
Yep.
Say good night. Good night. It's stay spooky, and it's good night from me, and it's good night. Say good night, Hobbit.
And it's good night for my internet connection. It's really taking a shit.
But your Discord has been like a trooper all the way through.
And Steam is working fine down at 33 megabytes settings. It's just like any video site is absolutely shit.
Yeah.
So we off the air yet?
No, not all.
Okay. No, good night all from me. Stay away, Brody.